So I'm standing in a stream just outside Salem, Missouri at Montauk State Park. I've got one objective in mind. I'm here, I'm gonna try to catch a lunker. So, what's a lunker? Well, the definition of a lunker is anything exceptionally large for its type. But here at Montauk, they define it as any trout exceeding 4 pounds. Now, if you catch a trout over 4 pounds, they give you a little patch for your vest, put your name on a scroll up at the lodge. It's kind of a cool little event. But there's something a little more important for me riding on it. See, I've had a fishing trip where I meet a group of friends here for about 12 years now. And every year we have a pot, we pitch in a little bit, and the biggest fish takes home the pot. But more importantly, they take home a trophy. The rainbow chaser is our trophy. It's an immaculate, beautiful trophy made of the most beautiful plumbing fittings you've ever seen. Yeah, maybe rainbow chaser wasn't the best name for it. Maybe rainbow trout chaser would have been a better name, but I guess you had to know this group of guys. But the problem is, I've never won. I come in second almost every year, but I've never taken home the biggest fish, and I need to change that this year. So I've got two things stacked against me. One is the trip started on Tuesday. Today's Friday, and I'm just getting here. So all my friends have 2 days head start on me. So I've got to play catch up. And the other is I need to change how I fish. What I've been doing's not been working. I think the way I fish, I catch a lot of fish, but I don't catch the big ones. So I phoned a friend. I reached out to a guy named Kevin, and he has been fishing the park for decades, and he's very experienced. He's caught a ton of big fish in this park, and he has agreed to come here and give me some pointers. So what my plan is, I'm going to forget everything I know about trout fishing. I'm going to take what Kevin uses, exactly the size line he uses, the size jigs he's using, whatever methods he's using, and I'm going to use that to try to catch a big fish here at Montauk State Park. And fortunately, I'm going to be learning from one of the best. So let's go meet Kevin. So how long you been fishing the park?
50 years.
50 years. And so you were coming here as a kid then?
Yeah, I was 5 years old.
Okay.
First lunker I caught, I was either 8 or 9 years old, but that was at Merrimack, and it was 7-pound rainbow on a black rooster tail spinner.
7-pounder.
But yeah, that was a very memorable experience, and I was hooked. So I've been after the big ones ever since, and I've gotten over probably 100. I couldn't tell you exactly the amount.
And here in the park, they give out a patch for anything over 3 pounds. So I have to correct what I said earlier. Yeah. And these patches he has all over his vest here are
look on the back.
Each one of those represents a fish, and
I believe they got the year on them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so 2018, 2020, 2017. And Kevin told me you had what, probably 3 vests filled with them that over the years you lost track of, but
yeah.
And through unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, let's talk technicals real quick. So I have an IM7 graphite rod. Kevin recommended a 3-pound line, so I switched over to 3-pound green triline. And these are, I believe, the 16th ounce gold tinsel jig head. He said this is the absolute go-to. Now, a lot of people fish dough bait, fake worms, wacky worms, rooster tails. Of all of those things, what do you think? I mean, you think these are the best at targeting big fish? Is that?
Pretty much. I can catch them on just about anything, though. We're being dive bombed by squirrels. But, yeah, you can catch them on just about anything, but it depends on how long the fish has actually been turned loose out of the hatchery, or whether it's a residenter that's came up out of the river.
Okay.
Basically, if they have just turned one loose, you ain't going to really have to fool him a whole lot to get him to bite something.
Right.
But if he's been hooked and got off, then you got your work cut out for you. Then you're going to have to fool him into believing that, okay, This is not a threat, this is a nuisance.
Yeah.
So that's where the work comes in.
Okay. Share the secrets. What do you do different to target the big fish in a trout park?
Well, if you've got a big one out there that basically is ignoring everything, the best thing you can do is stay persistent and try to position yourself different as to where the fish is laying, as to where you are, and present that jig to him in a different position. If he's below you, that's real good. Then you can, because when the current is pulling you down, you're going to be pointed downstream with the head of the jig. You really don't want that. You want the jig to be with the current. That way it looks more natural. And
so you're not ripping it laterally across the current.
No.
You're going down like at a 45-degree angle and
yeah. You
doing a jigging action.
You basically want to get him as far below you as you can, so you can get your jig as straight in the water as you can get it. And if you can just use the current to pull it and jig it, pull it, jig it, until he either bites it or he leaves, that's staying persistent after him. I've been after fish for up to 7 hours with the same jig, and they finally hit. So it's just that magic moment when they've had enough.
Okay.
There is a sign whenever they're getting mad. They will flutter. They will snap their jaws. They'll get irritated at whatever is around them, and they're not perceiving it as a human threat. They're just perceiving it as something in the water.
As an annoyance?
That is an annoyance that get away from them. So that's when you've got them where you want them.
That reminds me a lot of bluegill or red ear on the nest. And you can have that. I did a video on this where they won't eat anything. But if you put a night crawler or a cricket in their nest, they won't eat it, and it'll scare them off the nest when you put it in there. But within 60 seconds, they come back, and then there's something in their nest, and they'll clean it out. And they don't eat it. They just pick it up to move it, and you set the hook. So it's a lot like that.
Yep.
What do you think about my ability to outfish the rest of the boys in my group on this trip? You think you can help me out a little bit?
Well, we'll give it a shot. I'm
Okay.
not promising nothing.
It's okay. I understand. There's no promises in fishing. There are sometimes tears, but let's go down there and hit the water. So we're gonna start behind the lodge. So if you're familiar with the park, you'll know the lodge is where a lot of folks will start out. There's a big deep hole there, and then we're just gonna kind of work our way downstream, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's get to it, and
All right.
let's go fishing.
Let's go.
All right, step aside. Step aside.
I already tried the tenderloin, it don't work.
It's okay. We're gonna let the real fishermen come in now. So
Him, I don't know. You, I do.
now that we're in the water getting started fishing, I sit back and really just observed Kevin. I watched how he fished. I looked for the patterns he used when he jigged, the rate that he retrieved, and I noticed there was a real patience in his method. One thing he told me off camera that bears repeating, he mentioned how he'll thoroughly fish a location and methodically move down the stream. And in that process, he'll see the big fish and find out where they are. Obviously then, that's 2/3 of the battle. If you want to catch a large fish, you have to fish where they are. It's very subtle. Now, see, I probably am too aggressive most of the time, so I'm going to slow it down. What I did notice about the tinsel jig that I thought was really interesting was how much of a flash it gives when you jig it through the water. It's a very reflective material, and with the tiny little tugs while retrieving it, it really does look like a little fish swimming. Well, the day seemed to be starting off pretty slow for everyone, so I decided to step downstream and try my luck a little bit. And I'm glad I did, because about 45 minutes into the day here, my luck started to change. I think I started to get a little more comfortable with throwing the jig, too. Oh, okay. Getting in business now. I think anytime you fish in a new lure, you have a lack of confidence until you catch that first fish with it. Okay, there we go. All right. It's taken me a minute, but I'm getting how to work this now. All right, my first fish on the jig my first fish on the funky method. My first funky fish. He's a good eater, you know, and he's right. What Kevin said is these fish you can see when they're feeding, and it was obvious the way those fish, I heard them hit the water. There was 2 of them over there. And the first time, see that one? That fish is feeding. I'm gonna try to get up close to him. And what I'm noticing is what I gotta do is I gotta have it, the second it hits the water, I gotta be jigging. Because they notice quickly when it doesn't look right. And if you're not jigging it, it ain't looking right. You gotta get jiggy with it. You gotta have an instinct strike here. They gotta strike fast or you're not getting it. I got one down in this hole that likes looking at it. There we go. There he is. Ooh, he's a runner all the way around the back. Come on, buddy. Oh, yeah. All right, number 2. I got 2 fish. Bite's been pretty slow, so Boots and I decided to sneak back to camp, eat some fish, and take a little break. We're gonna go back out this afternoon and look for that big boy. So, join us. Hi, hey, I just wanted to let you know how the contest is going. Nate and I both agreed that we would start the measuring of the fish from here on, because before I got here, they had not measured the fish, okay? So to win the contest, I just have to catch the biggest fish from here on out. Should be fishing down current, casting at a 45-degree angle, and then casually letting it get to the bottom and fishing it forward from here. Well, the afternoon of fishing turned out to be slower than the morning, and from what I could see, everybody in the park was experiencing the same thing. I worked my way back over to the inside of the bend where Boots joined me to hang out and do a little fishing. I'm glad he did. Boots was fishing Siberian nightcrawler eggs, and he wasn't having much more luck than me. And that's one of my old go-to baits.
Okay, that's a sign. I don't know how much time we have left today, but I have to try something new. I've been fishing this gold jig, and it is not happening. And since I didn't bring anything else, I'm gonna phone a friend. Boots,
Well,
can I borrow something? Maybe a little hook and a split shot and an egg?
it doesn't tie it for you, but
Is that the night crawler?
now if you catch a fish for me, I'm going to be questioning this whole thing.
If I catch one now, because you've not been catching on these things. As I'm starting to lose light, I'm reverting to an old school Aaron method. This would be how I would lock down catching some fish on this corner. Since I've been trying that gold jig all night, and
You showed me once.
and we're gonna try it. Boot says I'm not allowed to catch fish this way, at least not on the first cast. So, Zillow keeps coming back. Return to sender, and rest unknown. No such number, no such phone. Don't be mad, Boots, it was the second cast.
What the
Look at this behemoth, this monster, the Leviathan of the deep. I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, you haven't been singing Return to Sender while you fish. That's probably what you're doing wrong.
Return to sender.
Good. Very good.
Coming up on the bell here, fishing's done. It's been terrible this afternoon, so I threw nothing but the jig for about the first half of the afternoon, and then I started throwing everything old reliable. I had fish eggs. We cut bacon into strips and tried throwing that in. So we tried, jigs again. I tried a cricket, a grasshopper, and we just weren't having any luck. So anyway, I'm geared up, ready to hit it again in the morning. I'm gonna go right back to the gold jig and see what I can do, because I came here to test this theory and I'm having a lot of doubts right now, but I'm gonna go back to it and I'm gonna try my best to fish it as thoroughly as I can tomorrow. Well, I'm well rested. I got up early Saturday and I'm ready to get out and hit it. So I did go and buy a couple of white and black hair jigs, and I've got Kevin's gold shiny tinsel jigs. So I'm gonna cover a lot of ground in the park today. I decided I'm not gonna drive the truck around the spots. I'm gonna walk everywhere I go. So I headed out this morning, got my vest packed with some light basic gear. I'm gonna walk all the way up to the top of the dam here, and I'm gonna fish maybe all the way to the back to the campsite and around lunchtime, and then if I haven't got anything by then, or I'm not having much luck, I'm probably gonna try to grab one of the other guys and run outside of the park and get some minnows. So just see how it goes. I'm really gonna put a lot of effort into getting this fish today, though. Nate does not have, none of the other guys have, I say Nate because it's pretty much a contest between me and Nate here, but no offense to Boots and Tyler, but Nate will kill himself trying to catch the biggest fish on this trip. And so if I'm going to get that from him, I'm going to have to earn it. I'm going to have to fish hard today. I'm going to have to be in the water a lot. So that's my plan. Here's the dam coming up here. It's always kind of crowded, and I could go to the top and fish because as long as I'm not using soft plastics, I'll probably switch over and use the jig. But I like fishing the bottom of the dam, mainly because there's always just a little bit, there's this tiny chance I get to watch a fly fisherman fall off the dam. A whole day fishing. Life ain't too bad. So as I start getting settled in, it takes me a little while to figure out how to work this location, since I have to cast the jig upstream and pull it back, and that's exactly what Kevin told me not to do. It took a little playing around to find a method that worked, but eventually I did. Getting a little better. He ain't gonna win. He's not huge, but I'm starting to get this now. Okay, he's gonna stay on the stringer just in case. He's at least gonna be one to measure and weigh in. All right, what I'm starting to figure out, when I cast up into the waterfall, I need to do a straight retrieve while making the tiniest jiggle on the rod tip to make the head of the jig bounce. Now I'm getting good solid action when I'm doing this. So as I start to get a hang for how to work this jig, pay attention to the couple fishing downstream from me. They're going to be an important part of this story here shortly. There we go. There you go, buddy. Okay. Right. So now that I'm getting how to work this, I'm getting more consistent bites. Oh, he's a good fighter. I
Come here, buddy. He's amped. Might get him a little closer. All right, now take it easy, stay with my line. Oh. And you know, he's a little bigger than I thought too. Boy, I don't know. He might be as big as that other guy. I'm not sure which one's longer, but I think this second one is actually heavier. Taking a little break here. So one of the things Kevin told me that I really remembered and am listening to is, said change your presentation. So don't worry about moving around so much. Don't worry about having everything, like don't worry about changing lures. Stick with something you know and works, and keep fishing, but change your presentation, change your angles, change your jig pattern, change your drawing rate. And so that's what I've been doing, and it's been working because I slowly figured out where I can pull the fish out. The other reason I stay in this spot is because there's a big hog right down here, probably 3 pounds, so would get me, if I could catch this guy, it would probably be a contest winner. But he is stubborn. I've laid the jig right in front of him, ran it past him probably 200 times already, and he's just chill. So, but one thing Kevin did say that I keep listening to is you can annoy these fish into biting just like you can a bluegill or a red ear. And I did that in a recent video. So I've been trying to just annoy this fish to death. So right now I'm giving him a little rest, giving my back a rest. And got a couple nice fish here though. Thanks.
All right, do you remember earlier where I said this couple fishing downstream was going to play an important role in my day? Well, I remembered about 6 years earlier where I was talking to my buddy Rod Burner, and he told me when he fished for brown trout, he would take sculpin and crush them up and drop them into a deep hole. And these folks were nice enough to let me have this one.
Here's a little piece of that sculpin they gave me. Now, a little detail, you're not allowed to use cut bait from game fish in the park. This is not a game fish. I need a place to chill out for a minute. Rest my back. Something's eating on it, but I think it's a sculpin. Let's see if we got him. Yes, we do. All right. I got more bait now. Little guy, but all right. It's a fish. He got himself in the current.
Okay, as you can tell by my voice, at the moment I still think I have a little fish on that got up in the waterfall and got some extra leverage from the current. Very shortly here I'm about to realize this could be a contest winner. Okay, so what I start doing now, because I realize I've got a pretty good fish on. I know it's the biggest fish I've caught, but I don't realize just how big it is just yet. So I know I can't pull this fish with 3-pound line up against the waterfall. So I lead it and decide it's easier for me to move closer to the fish than to get the fish closer to me. So I get out in shallow water looking for a better place to land it.
Brown. Stay in there, baby. Woo! Oh yeah. Let's go get him weighed. Yeah, he was pretty. I was just about to give up and head home or head back to camp. Look at him. He's got beautiful color.
Oh, that's a big fish.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
He's gonna get weighed, so that's my biggest, my first brown too. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Have a good one. He's good, man. Look at this guy. He's pretty. He got a good color.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got great color. So I'm gonna head down and get him weighed, see what he weighs in.
I knew that was in here. I've been getting hard to hits.
There's more than one over there.
Oh, really?
There's, yeah, when I saw the brown start popping up, the guys next to me had caught a sculpin, and I asked him to say, hey, give me that sculpin. And I snapped its head off and pinched a little chunk of meat off. It's not a game fish, so it's legal.
Got some luck there, huh?
Yeah, dude, check him out.
Holy shit. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I have such a big cheeser on my face. Everybody's like coming up, seeing my fish, walking back to the lodge to get it weighed. And yeah, I'm so excited right now. I am really hoping this is 3 pounds.
You can sit it up there on the scale.
Okay, where's the scale?
Right over here.
Okay, perfect.
All right, I see where you're at.
What do you think? Think it's got it?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty darn
It's
close.
gonna be close, isn't it? Yeah, he's got fun.
3.5.
That makes it then, right?
It does.
Woo! Yes! Yes! Your fish hands. Come on. 12 years, man. 12 years. Oh,
Getting the paper.
awesome. Yeah.
Brownie, look at that.
Yeah, I know. He's
First
got
brown
pretty
I've
color.
seen.
I've never caught one before.
I caught one brown nowhere near that big, but
Nice.
Yeah, that was my
Cool.
first, man. So,
congrats, man.
I guess, thanks. Nate's gonna win this contest. He's gonna have to get a patch to do it. Here's the thing about Nate, though. Nate will kill himself from here to the end of the day today. So I cannot assume this fish is gonna win. I gotta get out there and keep fishing.
What do you got there? What is that? That's not a fish. Oh,
Look at that bad boy.
Where'd you catch him?
Woo!
Holy shit. Nice job. Thanks for the bloody on the shorts.
I just pretend I'm a date.
Dude, that's a big old brown.
Dude,
Dude,
that was freaking awesome.
you're still shaking.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, I'm jacked, dude. Dude, because when he hit, I go, ah, it's just a little guy.
So give me some paper.
And
towels.
yeah, sorry about that, man. I didn't mean to get you bloody. I got back to the site. I was here with my trout for, a few minutes, and Nate like piles his gear on and he heads out because he can't let me win. And of all the people at this place who can go out here and catch a bigger fish than what I just caught, it's him. So Nate's up at the fly fishing area. At least that's where he told me he'd be, but let's make a quick pit stop. I'm walking by the lodge. And let's just see if anything.
I don't know, but whoever it is. They have these socks. That must be your name up there?
It is. You recognize me, obviously. yeah, I'm jacked. I'm a big dork,
Hey, you got to.
But it's fun.
There you go.
Have a great day. Thanks.
You too.
I'm sure they think people like me are stupid for coming in here and caring about this fish I just caught, but I'm stupid. Whatever. Who cares? There he is. I see him.
I almost got you.
Dude, those are nice. Dude, that's nice. That's a pretty rainbow, man.
Not there, but it's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Got him right there on my fly rod.
You see a big one?
No, that's where I caught this one. It's called parachute. Looks like a mayfly. Sitting on top of the water. Comes
You
down.
like that?
And I went, he kept fucking going around me. It's like, son of a bitch. It took me, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes to get him in.
It's a nice fish,
Yeah,
man.
he's a nice
It's a nice fish.
I thought about having him weighed, but I think he's 2.5.
He's a good fish.
He's a beautiful fish.
Oh yeah, good color.
Beautiful.
Just not that heavy.
So from there, I decided to leave Nate alone and leave it up to fate. So I headed up through the fly fishing area to try my luck and hit some waters that I don't fish as often. Also, I was really searching for my friend Tyler. To this point, I still have no idea where he was.
So I'm looking for Tyler, and I've never seen anything like that before. That's apparently a spring with the water welling up from underneath, I assume. Pretty cool.
Alright, so I took a pretty long walk here looking for Tyler. No Tyler. I'm all the way up, coming up on the hatchery here. Big fish. This turned out to be an incredibly long walk. And no Tyler. No Tyler. You back for the night?
I got nothing.
So what happened? Is that it? I guess that makes it official.
This year goes to backfish.
That's badass. My whole life I've been waiting for this moment. I'm going to Disneyland.
Dickhead.
Here's to a good night, man. Let's have some fun. Yes, sir.
Woohoo.
You ever seen anything that beautiful before?
No, I have not.
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
It's gorgeous.
It's gonna get cut.
No editing. None at all.
You don't edit
All
shit.
raw.
One take.
Yeah, backfish don't edit.
No editing at all.
No
man.
editing
Yeah.
needed, man. It's one take backfish.
Missouri, hell yeah.
Yeah, everybody say hi.
Hi. Who's your state?
Everybody say who? Who? It's official. The Rainbow Chaser comes home to Indiana, where it belongs. It's a great day.
Well, the trip's been a huge success. I'm really excited that I got to take home big fish. I get to take home the Rainbow Chaser trophy. Huge thanks to Funky, Mr. Kevin Funky and the Funky Method. From here at Montauk, we're packing up, getting ready to head home. Some of us had better nights than others. Thanks a lot for watching Reliably Random Outdoors. Have a great day.
Excited. 5.5 hour drive, but I can't wait to see Rachel and the kids.
Drum roll, everybody. Behold.
That's what you were excited about?